much more beneficial to the mind and the people. And I'm just saying, like, what's the better leader, basically? What's the better motivational tool? Is religion the best way to do it? Because isn't religion like a lie? Isn't that like lying to someone?
It is.
You're saying like God or some higher whatever
Or it
fuck
can be. I mean,
will do
some people don't
something,
believe it
right?
is.
But what is fear a lie? Is fear fake? Fear can't be fake because we've seen fear. People are afraid to die, right? Because fear is only instilled because we
Well,
it takes away our survival.
now fear is subjective though.
What?
Like,
Well, exactly, but that's
what
not
are you
no.
afraid of? Like,
But
some,
exactly, but what I'm saying is, what does that fear? Why do we fear? We fear because we believe it could affect our ability to live. Like we fear resource depletion. We fear maybe certain animals. Or we fear other species because they threaten our existence to live, right? So is fear survival? Is it a survival mechanism? Hell yeah. We fear is developed as a survival mechanism because we need to use it to stay alive. Because fear was a natural motivational tool that developed in people over time.
Okay.
Same thing with love. Same thing with if you could say like what love even is. I mean I don't know. Love is too deep. But I mean like it comes down to like I always say like it comes down to like a selfish versus selflessness, being selfless and selfish. The two different things. It's basically what people are. People are like selfish engines. That's all we care about is ourselves. And I always tell Zach like, no matter what happens in this world, there's always a selfish reason to do it.
that's not necessarily true. I mean,
Well, how would you say it's not? Give me an example when it's not true.
well, all right. Say if like someone breaks in your house and they have like a gun up to one of your like family members and you like you want to go in and charge and save your family member. How's that selfish? Like, all right, say the guy's in your house, he's got a gun pointing at you like your fucking kid or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's about to pull the trigger, and you
Yeah.
run up and jump up and take the bullet for like your kid or your wife or whoever
Right.
it is that your loved one is. How's that a selfish act?
It's a selfish act, and because why did someone just do that? Like it's the same example of someone giving their life, like saving them someone from a broken building or anything like that.
How's that selfish then?
Okay, look, if someone like say someone's dying in a burning building, they jump in and save their ass, right? Everyone's like, oh my god, you're a fucking hero. But in reality, that they did that for themselves because they wanted some sort of motivational tool to them said I can benefit from this. I can be more popular. I'll be well known. I'll be famous. I'll be a hero. So it's a selfish
Kinda,
viewpoint. Like
kinda.
people masters what?
I was gonna say. I think Tom has a point when you say like, if it's someone that you love or who you would do anything for.
Why
then
do
I
you
think
love
it's a
them?
different
Why do you love them?
situation.
Why do you love your wife? Why do you love your wife? Why does someone love anything? Why do we create that strong relationship and say that we have to keep them alive? You could say that maybe someone loves their wife because they are like it's a biological animal thing. So you're saying like why do people mate or why do they even have mates like that? Like why do we get married and we love this person? Maybe it's because they basically fuck us. Like we fuck them. It's a sexual
More than
part of
just
that.
sex.
Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is, Keith.
Look, it's all about those selfish acts. Like we keep them alive because of that reason, because they're our mate, because they produce children. Our children, we keep them alive because it's a biological thing in our head too. It's an animalistic survival mechanism to keep our children alive so we can continue on. That's why you would take a bullet for something like that. So is it selfish? I mean, you're thinking more like yourself. It's just your biological animal, like your borderline survival mechanism kicking in. So I mean, it is up to interpretation, but in my opinion, that's what it is. Like in my opinion, that it is basic human survival. It's like you don't even think, you just do. Like okay, when a war is going on, and how can I explain this?
Hey, Keith.
Yeah.
For all you atheists, there's a good saying out there for your atheists. Since you're mentioning war, there's some old saying that about soldiers saying there's no such thing as an atheist in the foxhole.
What's that mean?
That means that people question God and this and that, but if you're like in the middle of a battle somewhere and you have like shells, like mortar shells going off around you, there's many people who claim not to be religious who were cowering in their little corner. God help me! God help me! God help me!
Yeah, I mean I've done
So,
that
I
before
mean-
too. I mean, like I've gone through some, I wouldn't say like life threatening, but some rather intense moments where they simulate that kind of stuff.
And who do you call out for? Your mom, God? Who do you call out for?
Whoever at that time.
Who do you call out for?
Usually, like if I'm in the corner and I'm pinned, and I need to call out to something, I look for faith in my family, or I even call out to God before, even though I'm an atheist.
You see, that's my point.
Exactly. So what are you trying to get at? It's a natural survival instinct at the very end, right before you're gonna die. Like what can I do? Like, and you just shout those things out. They come out. They just come out. Like, what else are you gonna do? I mean, how else you gonna you try to do anything you can to survive or to stay alive or to get help.
It's like a last resort type thing.
Exactly. It's a biological natural reaction.
Yeah,
what do creatures do before they die?
So,
If you go to kill an animal, what does it do before it dies? It does everything it fucking can to stay alive. It fucking whatever it can do. Bite you, scratch you, kick you, freak the fuck out, seizure. And some of the animals even go the opposite of playing dead. It's all in us as human beings of being animals, but in our world, in our minds, how we've grown, what we do if we're gonna die. You know, I mean, we understand that realistically, no matter how hard we fight, we're gonna die. So what do? We go after other sources to try to stay alive. Even desperately, if you're like me, I'm an atheist, calling out to God, whatever like that. So I mean, even though it probably won't do anything, it's better than trying to get away and get shot. So I mean, that's what it's all about. So I'm saying like that comes to that. We're just animals like that. It's all like biological, human instinct or survival mechanism, Darwinism, all that stuff like that is what makes people people. And then as human beings, as we're intelligent, we try to mask it and make it more complicated than what it is. But that is what it is on a basic level.
So God is nothing but a survival mechanism
Created by people, yeah.
I was gonna say
you
could say that.
Yes, it is. It is
It's
because look, why did we create religion to answer your question?
Now, yeah.
And we answer questions for our own reassurance.
Well, you were talking about fear earlier. I mean, God.
Why when there's a group of people together, and like let's say you take a test, I always want to do this, to take a group of people and just throw them on an island. They're all random, no one knows each other, and just throw them on an island and see what happens. Why do things like leaders come about? Why do things like workers come about? Why do things like betrayal and backstab and all these things come about? It's good and bad, if you can even say it's good. How does that even work? Because that's not the way it is. People want answers, right? So they look for one dude, just like Joe Rogan says, the top monkey who's talking to the right, who's saying they're talking slow and clearly, these people, and they want to listen because they find reassurance. It's a survival instinct. We've learned through our Darwinism over time, to listen to someone and just follow them. It works out better than we're going, and all these people run around like crazy fucking madmen, all for themselves, being selfish. We're like, hey, in our early monkey years as cavemen or some shit, we learned, hey, if we get together and have one dude lead us and listen to him, we can get some shit done. And we actually can survive this war, this fight, or this struggle we're going through. And if we all were out against each other and just killing each other. But at the same time, that even still happens today, but in like a non-violent way, like a more civilized people way. Like, as people were going to pretend to like, we're more civilized, but it still happens. Like, instead of back in the day, in Animals in the Wild Kingdom, you don't like someone, you just go fucking kill them, right? Well, nowadays, I mean, sometimes, but nowadays, if you're at work, it's always like what they do. They backstab you, make your life live in hell. It's the exact same thing. It's just more civilized, like, in this world, respected. That's all it is. It's just people surviving. It's all instinct. It's all what people just do. We're all just animals. It's just that we try to mask it to make it more civilized than what it should be. In basic level, is we are no different than any other animal that walks this earth. We're just more intelligent. Bottom line.
So what does anyone else have to say about all that?
I don't know. It's a lot to take in. I think I've heard this kind of stuff before from Keith, so I know it makes sense. I don't know what else to say. Usually these things
how would you say we're not that? I mean, how would you sit and say like we're more than that when evidence just clearly states that we are that?
What evidence, Keith? Where's your evidence?
History. What people do.
What history, Keith? See, you're
look through history, dude. Let's open a fucking book, and
you're
it's
making
right
people
there.
sound too robotic. Like
We're not robotic. We're just animals.
That's what you said. Like it's all instinctive. We just do stuff. I mean,
you just do shit, and those things evolve. And when we're more intelligent, they just evolve into whatever the hell they are.
All right. What is your conversation supposed to be about religion? What does this have to do with religion?
No, it doesn't. This conversation obviously evolved from religion to people in general. Like, what are people? That's much more fascinating to me than religion.
And why people as a um, beast beast type creature make up these fanciful fake ideas as a basic instinct.
No,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I think I probably agree with Keith there. I mean, even if it's on like a general, I mean that does make a lot of sense. I mean, I really don't see anything wrong with that with what he's saying. Mm.
What about the Silent Man, Adam?
I
Oh my god, he's
it's
still alive. I
all
thought he died.
a matter of opinion, I think. I'm gonna have to disagree. I think that humans are way more complex than just animal instincts, like Keith says. Um, I mean, our intelligence is what sets us apart from other animals, and I don't think that you can just kind of lump us all together because we are different from animals. We aren't just a random species that somehow lived all this time. We've progressed. That's what makes us humans.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand that we're not like in going with Keith saying like on a general level, especially like I would go to a point to say like we're very well. First of all, we are very intelligent beings, way more intelligent, or at least that we assume we're way more intelligent than any other being on this planet. To say that we create these instincts maybe or these ideas because we're so intelligent, we create these complex ideas out of so long of having these instincts and these basic beast like ideals, I guess. I don't know how to
But
say.
what I'm telling, I understand what Adam's saying, right? And
Yeah,
that does what it is what sets us apart. But here's the thing:
sure.
when people are in that last minute, when people are pushed into a very serious situation where they're not in their home, in their cozy little home, sipping their hot cocoa, they resort to that. They're what they are. People, when you look, when a soldier is about ready to fucking die, when you're fucking taking bullets, what do you resort to? You basically just come who you are. Like you eliminate all their thought and all their bullshit, and you just rely on the core of what you are, whatever that is. It's survival instinct like an animal. We act just like animals. I mean, if people were taken and put on an island, we're people, they know each other. What would happen? It would act like that. They would. You can't sit there and tell me that they would make some advanced society. They would just act and survive as best they can. They want to live. That's the basic thing. People want to live. It's just how it is. There's no other way like getting around it.
There is more to it, Keith. You can't just say that's it and close the book because there's so many people who can argue against you and destroy everything you're saying right now.
What do you mean?
Like I mean, you're making everything's just not. I mean, all right, I agree with you to some of the stuff you're saying. I do think human beings are animals, and I don't think we're worth more than animals. I agree with all that, and there is a lot of instincts, people, but it's not even that. I mean, the intelligence does separate us from animals, but that's not the point I'm making of why we're different than animals because we were talking about aliens earlier. Humans are so full. Human beings are so fucking full of shit and full of ourselves. It's unbelievable. All right, what if aliens do exist and they come down here? And what if all the ancient alien theories and all that stuff is true? And that means aliens were fucking traveling in spaceships in 2000 BC, making humans in test tubes, and we're just doing that now. How much more advanced are they than us? What do they say when they're comparing themselves to us? Like we keep saying we're the most intelligent creatures on the world, but and there's so many things people talk about, like only humans go to war, only humans do this or that. No,
Yeah, I
ants
was
go
gonna
to war.
say.
Yeah.
Dolphins are extremely intelligent animals. Monkeys, there's other creatures who are extremely smart like us. So we can't always say, oh, we're smarter than them because, like how do we really know what animals are thinking? Like how do we know they don't think about stuff like we do? Like we don't know that. Like there's no way for us to tell that stuff. But to say everything is just all instinctive, I don't know, Keith. I don't believe that. Like there's more to it than that.
Hmm.
The fact that we can sit back, like you